Oh boy. Well, I knew this day would come. Guess I gotta explain myself. So, hello everyone, Arteo here. And today I'm gonna be explaining to mostly my Instagram why I stopped doing gacha content. Now, if those who don't know, I used to make gacha content on Instagram, and for a long time I did enjoy it. However, after a certain point of time, I really just felt like I was forcing myself to do it more than I was actually enjoying it. I really enjoyed the stories themselves, but I didn't really enjoy the actual, like, making of the stuff. Don't get me wrong, I did like creating characters and writing their story and dialogue and being able to pose them in the way I wanted them. I enjoyed all that. It was just, it lost its spark for me. It slowly happened. It sort of happened after my first ever series. I based that off of the novel that I write on Wattpad. By the way, you should go check that out. I'm rebooting it, so I'm changing the story because I didn't like how it was last time I wrote it. But you should check out the original, it's really good, and you should check out the new one. Anyway, so the first one that I ever made, it was just supposed to be just the characters, and it was supposed to be like the second half of that book, the second book that I wrote. It was just supposed to be that story, and it slowly divulged into its own thing. And so I started calling it the Gacha canon for that universe. And people really liked those characters. I loved those characters, and I actually incorporated some of those characters into other works of mine. However, it sort of happened after I made the 10 Knights of Power. I really liked the storyline. However, I felt that Gacha Life was limiting what I could do. So I decided that I would wait until Gacha Club would come out. At the time, there was no release date. So then I created the Future AU, in which Arteo and all the other characters from my previous series of Isles were reborn. It was a very, like, I guess, My Hero-esque, but it was based off a story I actually wrote a long time ago with those characters, involving a, like, future in which they inherited the power of their ancestors. It's really convoluted, and I haven't actually written it down for the public. Anyway, so that story, I felt honestly that I was forcing myself to do stuff in it, and again, I did like characters in it, but it was different. I just slowly felt like I was just forcing myself to do stuff. And I also was going to continue that one whenever Gacha Club came out. So I'm getting to why I'm not doing it anymore. After that, I created the thing with like Nerva and stuff. That's kind of when it started dying for me. Okay, I'm saying that a lot, but you gotta understand that I love the characters I create like my children in a way, and I guess a lot of creators can see them like that. It's hard to explain. I didn't feel like gacha was the format that I wanted my characters to be expressed in. So, and then I mean, it was alright. I was kind of just doing it just to do it because people enjoyed it, and I was trying to make myself a bigger presence. But after a certain amount of time, I became very stagnant, and I wasn't growing in popularity. And then I completely convoluted that plot. I made it absolutely god-awful, and I hated it. And that's the part I ended it prematurely because I didn't actually like the series anymore. Then I made a brief, like, short little mini-series. It was like a weird Goblin Slayer reference. Then I made the other thing, though, like, what's it called? Like the 10 Knights of the other 10 Knights thingy or whatever it was called. Where they had the elements and stuff, and that was heavily based off of, if you don't know NTDN Studio, that's a really great gacha creator, so if you have not checked him out, you really should. He makes really good gacha stories, and I admire him for it. Don't know if he'll ever see my stuff, but maybe one day. Anyway, so I kind of used that as inspiration for this next series, and a lot of people called me out for it, but that series kind of brought itself to its own conclusion, and I really liked that conclusion. I left it open in case I wanted to continue it, but I really didn't, and then I tried to continue it, and then I lost all motivation to continue it, and that finally put me on a brief hiatus, and I did like a few posts in between that. Then I tried to reboot my 10 Knights of Power series. And I tried to do something else with it, and I hated it. Honestly, after a while, all those series just, it kind of melted together. I tried to do a isekai, which I wrote that isekai, and I've made it into book form, and I'll probably publish that on Wattpad, so again, check out my Wattpad. I have a lot of stuff on there. And then I made the Villain Arteo, which gotta say, that's probably my favorite thing, and that kind of reinvigorated me to start doing gacha again. And I really enjoyed that arc. I enjoyed creating a villain AU for this character that was always seen as the hero, and yet he still had that protective instinct for Amane. And it was so great, and I really enjoyed that series. And I loved the arc, I loved everything I did with it. And then I screwed up, and I really messed up, and I tried to do something that I regret now. And because of it, I didn't want to continue the series. Then I did Swordcraft Academy, which was a weird, I don't even know what that was. That was a mess. And that finally brings us to today, where I decided to continue the old soul thing with like wrath and patience and stuff. And there's only one reason I brought that back, and that's because of Nerva. She's one of my favorite characters I've ever created, so I really wanted to bring it back just for her sake. It's because I didn't want to leave her nowhere. But even then, I got sick of it. I can't do it anymore. I can't. I love making stories. I've made stories for almost 6 years now on different platforms. And I love telling stories, and I'm constantly trying to better myself. However, I don't think that while gacha was a great way for me to express those things for a while, everything must come to an end. And my little reign over gacha, sad to say it, it's over. I might make the occasional thing, and in this video you'll see that I'm using my gacha avatar that I made in Gacha Club. So I might make things in the future with it, but I'm more trying to expand to making YouTube content now, and I don't want to make those really weird gacha videos like, oh, I'm in love with my brother. That's not me. I like making stories that have like a deep lore and things like that, and I love doing that, and I've been learning about how to do that. So, in conclusion, the reason that I stopped doing gacha is because I just didn't want to do it anymore. It really comes down to me just not wanting to. I just didn't feel like that was the right format for me to express my characters, and that's about it. However, I know there are those out there who are fans of my writing. So if you are a fan of my writing, I highly urge you to check out my Wattpad. It has me, the creator, and it's of course Arteo. I actually just write like novels and stuff, and that's something I really enjoy doing. It's a format that I like doing. It's so much fun. I have so much fun. I discuss with my friends about characters. Hey, I've made fan fictions. I've made fan fictions. Yeah, and if you want to know the origin of the original story that I really fell in love in, you should read Isles of Exodia. I'll be posting stuff on my YouTube and stuff of me actually reading the original story. And not only am I doing that so that people can actually hear my reading, but I also want to just look back on the things that I really appreciated and the things I'm truly proud of. I'm not saying that I'm not proud of my gacha time. I will always cherish that time because it birthed a lot of characters that I like. I love, like Nerva. Nerva is probably the best thing that came from gacha, and Amane, of course. And now I'm incorporating both of them in my Isles reboot. But I probably won't be creating gacha content anymore. I'm developing my YouTube career. I'd like to do more on there, and who knows, one day I'd like to actually put Isles of Exodia as an actual like full series. I don't know, like an animated series, or maybe like one of those old Minecraft machinimas, things like that. I'd like to do that because I could have more creative freedom with that. I know there are ways to do that in the gacha community and things like that, but I just don't want to. I'd rather just find a way to make it into a production that I will enjoy writing. So, I will still be active on Instagram. I'll probably do stuff occasionally. Maybe I'll put some gacha stuff. Maybe I'll just put stuff about my channel. Maybe I'll put like the meme, like the little Rumi official meme I put on my Instagram just like a bit ago. Just like, I guess last night from when I'm recording this. Anyway, I hope this clears up some of that confusion. This is a really long video apparently. I hope you've enjoyed. Check out my Wattpad, Instagram, Twitter, and my YouTube channel. Depending on where I put this, I'll probably end up putting it on both. And if you're on my YouTube channel, subscribe. If you're on any of my other platforms like Wattpad or Instagram or anything, follow me. I'm not too active sometimes, but I'm trying to be more active, and as I build more of a following, I'll be more active so I can interact with my community. Anyway, this has been Arteo, and I hope that you have a great day.